I'm going to do a little bit of review here of some of the concepts that are covered in Chapter 5. And I want to start with simplification and expansion. So you'll see some questions that say simplify. And if you look at the terms here, this negative 9cd to the power of 4 and negative 3c squared d squared, you'll notice there's no additions or subtractions inside the brackets. So this is a single term times another single term. In cases like that, it's just a straight multiplication. So you multiply like terms together. Negative 9 and negative 3 get multiplied together to make 27. C and c squared get multiplied together to make c cubed. And d to the 4 and d squared, right over here, oops, that should be a d squared, get multiplied together to make d to the power of 6. That means we've got 27, c cubed, d6, which you can write nice and simple like that. So you can pause that, take a look at it again. The next question looks like this. Another one that says simplify. This time we've got binomials, like we've seen when we've using the distributive property, but they're being subtracted or possibly added. In a case like that, we're not doing FOIL. Okay? That's not what we're doing. We're simply adding and subtracting like terms. So my 2x minus the 4x and negative 3 minus negative 2. So I've rewritten it here as 2x minus 3 minus 4x and then minus again negative 2. So it's kind of like that negative is applying here and it's applying here. I'm subtracting the 4x and I'm subtracting the negative 2. If I put my like terms together, I get 2x minus 4x and negative 3 plus 2, because we've got this subtracting a negative number there. So 2x minus 4x is negative 2x, and negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. And that's what I end up with. The other style of question that we'll get is one that says expand. And that's where we do use the distributive property. And in that distributive property, we take whatever the first term is and we multiply it by the first term inside the binomial and by the second term inside the binomial. So 5x times 2x gives us 10x squared, and 5x times negative 4 gives negative 20x. And that's all there is to it. You'll probably see questions like this as well that say expand, but we've only got the one binomial. Notice, however, there's an exponent out here. So x minus 3 squared is like saying x minus 3 times x minus 3. And if we use the distributive property, x times x will give x squared, x times negative 3 will be negative 3x, negative 3 times x is another negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. We put those together and we get x squared minus 6x plus 9. Now, one of the things that's always true is that anytime you've got a binomial squared, these middle two terms will always be the same. And they're always the result of the first times the second. X times negative 3 is negative 3x twice. So I can use that to speed up this process. 2x plus 4 squared will be the first term squared, so 4x squared. The last term squared, always going to be positive, 16. And the middle term, like this one, is 2 times whatever the middle, this guy is. And this, remember, was negative 3 times x. So 4 times 2x is 8x, times 2 is 16x. Okay? So that's just a refresher on simplifying and expanding as far as Chapter 5 goes. Next video will be another sample or some samples on factoring.